Hey guys, so today I'm going to be looking at more Am I Wrong stories. Yeah, let's just get right into the video. So my mother-in-law came to stay with us for a few weeks till her home is renovated for Christmas. The problem is that she has been randomly walking in on me while I'm in the bathroom. Thankfully, not once has she seen me naked because I started picking up on her behavior after the second time in a week. She'd barge in, then turns and says, "Oh sorry," then close the door. I tried talking to my husband about it, but he kept ignoring me, then flat out said, "So what if she accidentally seen you naked? She's family." He seriously said that. We have a lock and I could have used it, but I have past trauma from the idea of locking and being locked in the room after my brother locked me in the bathroom when I was 5. So I came up with this idea. I'd go inside the bathroom pretending to use it and wait for her to come, because honestly it's deliberate at this point. When she accidentally barges in, she'll see me in a weird and awkward position. For example, doing a ballet stand, standing on the toilet, or standing facing the wall with my hands up, fully clothed of course. I could see how awkward and weird this would be for her because she'd stand there for seconds trying to figure out what I was doing. It was hilarious at first seeing her initial confusion, but she told my husband about it, claiming she's caught me practicing rituals in the bathroom. I cleared things up and revealed the reason why. My husband was livid. He called me childish and said that I made his mum feel terrified and weirded out by my behavior. He said I should have acted maturely and locked the door instead of playing mind games. His mum should just stop going into the bathroom on purpose then. Why doesn't he tell his mum that? As if he takes his mum's side when the mum is literally deliberately trying to get into the bathroom. Like spying on her. His mum obviously wants to pick up something bad about her and then tell him so they could fight or something. That's what I'm seeing. Jeez, why would you even want to spy on someone in the bathroom, man? Like, what else are they going to be doing in the bathroom? Jeez. Even if they do be doing something, that's none of your business. I hate nosy people. Gosh, who has this much time to be like, ooh, I want to see what she's doing in the bathroom? No, this person was amazing. Good that she did that because now she actually caught her. Like, why are you spying on me, mate? Like, you're spying on me to tell my husband something, like what I'm doing. Childish. Like, his mum is the childish one. Alright, moving on. I have been with my husband, Sean, for 2 years, married for 5 months. Most of his family are decent people, but his mum can be a little of a passive-aggressive and tends to criticize me a lot. Sean sees it as her still not getting used to me being around, but I don't know because she treats his ex Julissa good. Mother-in-law says Julissa has been around the family for ages and her past with Sean never affected her relationship with her. Fine, I never minded her attending every holiday and being around till yesterday. We had Thanksgiving dinner at my mother-in-law's house. Sean went there before me and when I arrived it was already dinner time. Everyone was seated and I saw that all chairs were taken. I asked mother-in-law why she didn't save me a seat and she said sorry and that one of her granddaughters decided to show up last minute and the chair was taken. I looked at her and then at Julissa who was sitting next to Sean and tried to point out how I was more deserving of her chair since I'm the daughter-in-law. I know I shouldn't have said it, I know. Mother-in-law flat out said that Julissa is as much family as me and that it was rude to imply otherwise. Julissa was nodding confidently while glancing at me. I was so upset I wanted to leave but decided to just sit on my husband's lap and act as casual as possible. I sat on his lap asking if he was okay with it. Don't worry, I'm petite, he's strong built, and started eating so casually while smiling and complimenting the food and mentioning to Sean how warm and comfortable his lap was now and then. The table went awkwardly silent. Brother-in-law would try to break the silence and change the subject, but it somehow goes back to being awkward. Mother-in-law and Julissa were barely eating and were staring at each other than at me, eyes wide open. Minutes later, Julissa excused herself to the bathroom and so did mother-in-law. It was still awkward, but I did my best to focus on dinner. Sean was eating as well. Later, there was just so much tension and mother-in-law was barely able to speak after Julissa left. Early, like right after dinner. Sean and I went home and mother-in-law tried calling, but then called Sean and texted me saying what I did was inappropriate and that I ruined Thanksgiving dinner and made it awkward. She said it wasn't her fault chairs were taken and I could have dragged a chair from the kitchen, but acted childishly and made Julissa and family uncomfortable with how inappropriate I was. Wow. I mean, that's true. She could have got a chair and just sat down. But I think she wanted to prove a point because mother-in-law and Julissa were just being so annoying. Being like, yeah, I like Julissa more than I like you. Yeah, you will always be my mother-in-law. Yeah, well, you know what? Sean will always be mine, and take that. And I'm just kind of mad at the husband for not saving her a seat. Like, surely, if you were already sitting down and you're waiting for your wife, you'd be like, oh, wait, we need an extra chair for, for my wife. But he just sat there next to Jalissa and didn't care at all. He should have found her a chair at least. Man, I guess it was kind of rude of this person to be like, I deserve that chair more because I'm the daughter-in-law. I guess that was kind of rude, and that was kind of uncalled for. She could have just kept it to herself instead of saying it out loud. I just feel like everything could have been avoided if someone just got an extra chair for her. Like, no one cared about her. Like, when she came over, no one was like, oh, let me find you a chair. No one did that for her. I'd be sad. And the mother-in-law is just annoying for always being like, I like Jalissa. Jalissa and I have such a good relationship. Like, that's so rude to be saying that in front of your daughter-in-law. Like, you have a daughter-in-law and you're going to be favoring your son's ex-girlfriend. That's a bit crappy. Alright, moving on. I flew home for Thanksgiving this week and got an early flight this morning so I would be able to do laundry tomorrow and relax before going back to work. I'm a plus-size woman. The cause was finally diagnosed after 3 years of weight gain. I've lost 4 pounds in the last 4 weeks. So when I booked my flights, I spent extra money and booked 2 adjacent seats so whoever had the 3rd seat in my row would not have to be squished up in my business. Flying out was great. The other person in my row was cool and we shared the middle seat and snacks and played Pokemon and our Switches and visited each other's Animal Crossing islands. Flying home was where things became a bit more problematic. I was settled into the pair of seats and a gentleman tried to sit his daughter, 12, in my middle seat, where my bum is taking up a good third of the middle seat. I said politely, I'm sorry, that seat is booked. Your daughter can't sit there, while putting my hand on the other 2/3 of the seat. He immediately complained that he hadn't been able to book seats together and he needed to sit with his daughter. I shrugged and said I was sorry, but it wasn't my problem. That wasn't his seat. He called over a stewardess to complain. I explained my situation and showed my pair of tickets, and the flight attendant offered to comp my extra seat. I said no thank you, I needed the extra room, and waved to where my bum was partway into the middle seat. The stewardess came back 10 minutes later with a wife from a couple who agreed to switch seats so the man could sit with his daughter, but not without attempting to shame me for not being willing to help out a dad in need and commenting about how selfish I was. I said I booked early and I booked 2 seats together because, to put it plainly, I'm fat. His 2 seats were separate seats. How exactly do you propose I split my fat ass in half to sit one half in one seat and the other half in his other seat? And the woman turned red in the face and bitched at me for being disgusting. I replied that his lack of planning was not my emergency, and she scowled at me for the entire rest of the flight. When I told my folks about it after I landed, my dad thought it was the funniest thing he'd ever heard, but my mum yelled at him for encouraging me and said I should have been more willing to help out a dad with a kid when I had 2 seats. So I want to know, was I wrong? I don't think they're wrong at all. Like, they bought the seat, so it's their seat, right? Technically. They don't have to give up a seat to feel uncomfortable. They don't have to give up a seat to someone who didn't plan well. They want to feel comfortable while sitting in an airplane, and that's fine. Like, it's obviously not their problem. They bought the seats. They paid for the seats. It wouldn't make sense for them to pay for 2 seats and then only get to sit on 1 seat, Then they should get a refund. But you know what? They aren't going to give her a refund, so she just has to do what you gotta do, just feel comfortable. Honestly, if you want to book your flights together, just book it together early. Alright, moving on. I'm 30, my wife is 34, and her sister Alexa is 19. We got married 2 years ago, but we've known each other for a long time. My wife's parents live abroad and they have a business there. 11 to 12 years ago, they sent Alexa to the US to live with my wife and get her education. My wife is basically her only parent. She does everything for Alexa. I'll be honest, Alexa is a brat who honestly gets on my nerves. It's like she exists to make my wife's life miserable. She's arrogant, rude, entitled, and nasty. She constantly broke rules and none of her teachers ever liked her. She refused therapy. I'm amazed at the patience and kindness my wife has because the girl was a nightmare. The second Alexa went to college, we got married. She came home for Thanksgiving, probably skipping classes, and came to me this weekend and confessed her feelings. Apparently, I treated her so much better than my wife when she was growing up. I tried to be nice to her just because she's my wife's sister. I do things like take her out once in a while to give my wife and then girlfriend a break. When my wife would try to tutor Alexa, she wouldn't even do her work and fail half her classes. I told her to let it go. I lost it and told her I don't like her. I never liked her, and I was only nice to her because it would make my wife happy. I told her I only put up with her spoiled self to be with my wife, and I was annoyed whenever she intruded. Alexa started sobbing and ran out. I told my wife everything, and she said I was right to turn her down, but didn't have to be harsh. She thanked me for being honest. Her parents are furious. I've gotten a bunch of weird text messages from what I suspect are Alexa's friends. Am I wrong? What? He did the best thing ever. Honestly, just reject someone as he should. The person confessing to him is his wife's sister. And his wife's sister doesn't think that she's wrong for confessing to a married man, especially her sister's husband. Are you kidding me? You have the audacity to do that when your freaking own sister took care of you like a freaking child and you want to ruin things? Yo, some people get on my nerves. And then Alexa has the audacity to cry, and then now we're having her friends text this person. Dude, girl, you're a red flag and you know it. Why would you be confessing to your sister's husband? I'm disgusted. And I'm a bit confused with the wife as well. I feel like the wife is just too nice, man. I feel like she's just letting everyone step over her. Honestly. Like, she's just like, thank you for being honest, but you don't have to be so mean to my sister. Like, bro, your sister literally tried to snatch your husband away. Your sister doesn't care about you. I don't know why you care so much about your sister. Jeez. I think if I were the husband, I'd be mad at the wife too. Like, do you not care about my feelings? Seriously. You only care about your sister's feelings. You don't care about my feelings at all. Come on, man. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.